Hi, welcome to DappBlocks. In this video, we will build our own crypto wallet. If you are new on the channel, my name is Himmat. Here we learn all fundamental concepts and practical development of blockchain technologies. So if this is something helpful to you, then press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. Prerequisites. First, Node.js. You can download and install Node.js from nodejs.org. Second, Infura. Sign up to the infura.io and get HTTP RPC URL. If you don't know how to get Infura HTTP RPC URL and how to connect a React app to the testnet, then I would highly recommend to watch my video on how to connect React app to the blockchain. You can find that link in the description below. In this tutorial, we will create our own crypto wallet and try to add some features like add asset, transfer asset, and track all the activities. You can find GitHub link in the description below. Here you can copy this link HTTP URL, go to the command prompt, then git clone URL, and you can name the folder. That is, for example, 04 ETH wallet. It will clone the repository. You need to go to that folder, then write npm install. This will take some time to install. This is successfully installed, and then write npm start. So this will launch our application into the browser. Meantime, you can import this into code editor. If you see here, you can see the package.json where all these dependencies were installed by the npm install. This is what we have created to transfer ERC20 token from one account to another. Let's modify this code. If you see this .env example, here you need to have the account address, that is the wallet address, then the private key. So if you go to the MetaMask, you can find here account address. You can copy this account address as it is, and for the private key, you can click on the account details, then export private key. Once you enter the password, you can get the private key. This is the RPC HTTP URL. So this you will get from the infura.io. So this is how from here you can get the HTTP URL. If you don't know how to get this, you can watch my previous video. So I have created one .env file with all those details. I'm going to copy that file into this folder. Okay. So this file is copied. Okay. Now let's go to the component and main.component. Here you need to add the code. So if you see here, these three variables we get from the .env file: account, private key, and HTTP URL. So this is what we are going to develop. So first we need to add the wallet address and their respective ETH balance. Then we will have the assets where you can add the tokens and their respective balance for this particular wallet. Then in the second part, we will have the transfer functionality where you can transfer ether or the token from this wallet to other wallet. And in the last section, we will cover all the activities for this particular wallet. So if you see here, there are two transactions. One is ETH and second is this token transferred, and you can find the transaction as. So let's go and develop this. So first we need to add the wallet address and the Ether balance. For that, just add the UI part first. So you can copy this, and this here you can add the wallet address or the account. Then you should add the Ether balance. So here we don't have Ether balance as such. We need to fetch the Ether balance for this particular account. Ether balance, and this should be ETH. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, we need to get this Ether balance. Let's go up and add a variable first, that is Ether balance, constant Ether balance, and then set Ether balance. So we need to set this Ether balance. So for that we need to write constant balance is equal to web3 dot eth dot get balance and the account. So this should be await, and since it is await, we need to write a function, async function, and then get account, get async function, get account balance. Okay, you need to complete this function. Okay, and then get Ether balance, written in OE. We need to convert this to the Ether. So constant then Ether balance is equal to web3 dot utils dot from OE. You need to pass this balance in the toString balance. So balance dot toString, and then the format we need it in the Ether. So Ether, complete this. Okay, then set Ether balance, so this will set Ether balance into the variable Ether balance. Okay, this is done. Okay, you can save this. You can save this file and refresh this. What is an error? Since we have updated this .ini file, you need to restart the application. So any change you make into the .ini file, you need to restart your application. Here another issue is that we need to call this get account balance. So let's call this function get account balance, so that it will run and set the ETH balance. And then start the application. So for that, npm start. See, if you see here, this is the wallet address and this is the Ether balance for that particular wallet. So you can refresh this and check. This is the account. Here it is the balance. You just change this font. Let's add the second section, that is the assets. So div okay. You can add the asset section. You can copy this, then assets. Okay, you can mark it as bold. B and complete this. Okay, then you need, so font color, you can change font size, you can change if you want. Then you can complete this. Here you need to add the, here you need table and the text box to add the asset. So let's do that. Div. Then what we need the table. So you can add the table structure. So table, then we need to add the table structure over here. So in the table structure we have first section, table and table header and table body. So for this, table header, so header we need two columns. One is token address, this is token address, and another is balance. Okay, then in the table body or the t body we need to have the values for the token address and the balance. So t body, tr, and it's a table data, or td. You can add another value. So this is there, so you need to move. So this is there, you we need to move this to the center. So this align center. So align center, and you can add the border to this table. So here you can add the style. So syntax for it is, I think, style. Then so 1x and solid border, solid black. You can copy this, save this file and check. No, I think that is not an proper syntax. Go back there, style, 1x solid. Oh, this should be the border. So change this, you need to add this. Okay, and this should be the border. Border is 1x solid black, and here border is 1x solid black. Okay, save this file and you can refresh this. See, okay, this is added. So add the same style to the table data as well, to the TD. So just copy this and paste it here, to the paste it here. So this is okay. So TD is there. So copy, save this file. Okay, that is there. Now let's go and add this add assets. You can copy this as it is, token address and set token address, and you can we can change this name. So first this should be change this font size. Okay, then you can change this to the, this is the add asset or token add asset. So here you can change this some style. So here you can change this function name, you can change this set add asset. So you need to add a variable. You can copy this entire part, paste this, and then set add asset address, and you can create a variable that is add asset address. Okay, you can save this file and go down. Add asset token. So this is there. Okay, this is there. Then we need to add a button. So this feature allow us to add asset for this particular wallet, so that on the UI you can see the all the asset for this wallet and their respective balance. You can copy this, paste it here, and change this same the add asset and the function name. On click, it should call the add asset. Okay, you can create one function. Just go up, then write a sync function. Add asset. Okay, add token asset for the wallet. Okay, you see here you can enter this address and you can call this. So now you can add the business logic. So this should add the token into the list. So first we need to create the token contract. Token contract equal to new web3 dot eth dot contract. We need to pass the two parameters. One is ABI, second is the asset address. So first is ABI, second is asset address. Add asset address. The scope of this ABI is limited to transfer. Then you can move this part outside to the function. So you can move this, cut this part, Control X, and add this. Okay, so it's to the entire. So you can use this API wherever you want. Create token contract. Then you need to have the balance, token balance. Then constant balance is equal to await token contract. Then you need to call the method of this token contract, that is token contract dot methods dot balance of token contract methods. This is similar to this token contract method. So token contract methods balance of, then you need to pass the account or the wallet address, then you need to mention the call. So this will return us the token balance. So again we need to convert this token balance to the ether format. So token balance equal to web3 dot utils dot from we, then you need to pass this balance dot toString and then ether. So this is token address then balance. So we need the token address and the balance. We have the token balance. Now we need the, so we need to add the token address and the balance into the list. So this is the temporary list just to store the token address and the balance. You can use the database. So token list, so you can create an structure, you can call it as the asset or something. So constant asset equal to, so what we need the token address and balance and one more variable, that is asset number, to uniquely identify that particular entry into the list. So asset number, it should be the length of the list. Token list dot length plus 1. So for first variable it's 0 plus 1 and it's keep on increasing. Then the token address, so token address is nothing but this is add asset address. So add asset address, then the token balance. So you can add this token balance. So token balance equal to token balance. Okay. So here you can add this asset into this particular list. So this is okay. Then you need to add the token list dot push and the asset. You need to pass this asset. Okay. So in order to show this into the UI, we need to set the variable. So here just add another variable. Here we need to add the another variable, that is asset list, and then set asset list. Okay, so you can use this asset list to show data, and this should be array. This should be the empty list. Then in order to show this, first you need to reset this with the empty list, that is asset, and then add the token list into the asset list. So it should be the token list. So every time we add the token, it should add it to this token list, and this token list is assigned to the asset list. So again, this is the per session temporary list. You should use the database. So this is done. You can refresh this and try to add the asset. So for this wallet, we have multiple tokens. Get you can copy token address of any token. So let's get the token address for the link. So you can copy this and you can add here and just click on the add asset. Okay. Oh, so we need to write the code for the front end. So we need to iterate this list and show each and every item into the table. So asset list dot map. Then we need to add this item. So in this item, there should be the three variables. One is asset number, second one is token address, and third one is token balance. So you can complete this. Okay, complete this. Okay, then you need to okay, this is okay. So return. Okay, just complete the structure. Return. Okay. Then you can move this outside that. Okay, and the tier. So for tier, so this should be uniquely identified. So you need to add the key over here. So key and then item dot asset number. Okay, this is fine. Then for the first column or the first value, it should be item dot token address. Token address. And then we should have item dot token balance. Item dot token balance. Okay, you can save this file. This is done. Okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. Okay, asset list is there, this is okay. Map is there. Okay. This is okay. Using, so write comment. So using asset list to and iterate to create dynamic table. You can save this file. Okay, you can save this file and refresh this page. Now you can try to add. Now you can try to add token. So again, let's get the token address. So this is the chain link address. This is one of the ES20 token. Just add the token. So if you see here, this is the token address and that is the balance of the token. So that is the token balance for this particular wallet. So you can try, and we can try another token. Let's copy this another token, that is DappBlocks. It's our own token. So we'll see how to create a token when we learn Solidity programming. So this is another token and this is the respective balance. You can verify those balances. So for Dapp link, so for the chain link it's 148, and for DappBlocks that is 3414.8073. So this is how you can add the assets or the tokens for this particular wallet. So this is done. Now we need to add the second part, is to transfer ether or the token to other account. So we need to check why this table is not showing properly correctly. So for the table, for this table formatting, we'll see later in this video. Now let's go and change this second part. Second section is to transfer token or ether to other account. Here you can add that code. So you can change this token address. We need the token address, and we also need this send to address. Just change the font size as per the above descriptions. That it's okay. Then we need the amount as well. Just remove this big line. Okay. Change this the font size. Okay. Then transfer amount, that should be there, and the send item is there. Just remove this break. Okay. And add the transfer amount is there. Tokens is not required. Okay. Because that either it should be ether or the token. So token address sent to, so token address sent to, and the transfer button is there. You can copy this. Yeah. So here we need to add the radio button to select the ether or the token. So you can add input, then type equal to radio. Then you can add a name. I think we don't need the semicolon. We don't need the comma. Then name, radio group. You can add any name of your choice. Then value. Value should be this is ether transfer. Okay, and then we need to add the on-change method, on-change an event, then complete this structure. Okay, So first we need to set the transfer type. Either it is a ether transfer or the token transfer. So event.target.value. So we need to add this into the parameter transfer type. By default it should be ether, so we can check this default check. Okay, this is okay. And now this is, so now you need to add this ether. Okay, and so we can add this into the spam. Okay, okay, just complete that. Okay, this is the first part of the radio button, and you can copy the entire part from here and just paste it and change the variable. This should be the token transfer, and set transfer type is also okay. Then this should be the default check should not be there. Transfer token transfer, and this should be the token. Okay, you can save this file. Token transfer, just add the token transfer into the parameter. So let's go back, and here you can add the another variable. Transfer. So you can copy this constant. Set transfer type, and variable should be the transfer type. This should be the, by default this should be it transfer. So it transfer. Okay, you can save this file. Okay, and then this is okay. Transfer type is okay. You can refresh this. Check ETH. Okay. Okay, ETH and transfer type. So if you see here, for every refresh, this should be the token list should be the empty. That is the reason we should have the some storage from where we can fetch the details. So that is fine. For the e-transfer, we don't need the token address. So we need to add that disable section. So you can add the variable token disable, then set token disable, or the token field disable, and then set the token field disable. Okay. Okay, then depending on the selection, so this should be the true. Since it is the e-transfer, then this field should be disabled, so this variable should be the true. Let's add this variable. So when we select the e-transfer, then it should be the true. set token field disable is true, and when you select the token transfer, then that field should be the enable. So set token field disable should be false, so it should not be disabled. And we need to specify this variable into the token address. So here you can add disable equal to, then that is token field disable. So based on the selection, this field should be enable or disable. You can save this file and refresh this. So if you see here, this is disable, and when we click on the token, this is enable. So this is how you can enable or disable. For e-transfer, we just need the send to and amount, and for token we need token address, send to, and the amount. Now let's quickly add the activity section. Copy. So copy this, go down, okay, paste this, okay. Then we can copy this asset and the table as it is. So we can copy this asset and this table, okay. Just go down, because here also we need the table for the activities. So you can copy, you can change this assets to activity. So this will track all the transactions for this particular wallet. So here we need the token address, transfer amount, and transaction hash. So token address, transfer amount, and one more column, that is transaction hash, okay. Then go down here, also we need another column. So asset list, it should be here, we need another column, that is so this should be the transfer amount, and this is the transaction hash, okay. And okay, and this should be the another list. Let's call this as an activity list. So we need to create this list and add the activities into the this list. So this should be the activity number, okay. Just transfer amount, transaction, this is fine, and this is the activity list, okay. That's fine. So now we need to add the transaction into the activity. So if you see here, now we need to add this activity transactions into the activity list. So add another variable here, activity list, and the set activity list, okay. Okay, now you can save this file. Here we need to add another variable. Again, this is the temporary list. You should use the database. So transaction list, and then you can add the code. So if you see here, activity token address, transfer amount, and transaction hash, okay. Let's go back and add the logic for that. So first let's add the logic for the transfer. And for both ETH and token transfer, we'll use the same function. We'll add the condition based on the transfer type. Either it's Ether transfer or the token transfer. So here we already have the logic to transfer the token. This token contract is there. Okay, value is there and the data is there. So here we need to add the conditions. So if transfer type equal to the token transfer, then this code is should be there. So we need to contract address, data, and this transaction. Okay, you can complete this signed transaction and send signed transaction should be there for both the token and ETH transfer. So what this token address, this should be there. Else if transfer type equal to ETH transfer, then transfer type equal to ETH transfer, then we should have the transaction or the transaction, we should prepare the transaction for that. So constant, we don't need the token address and the data, we just need the transaction. Close this. Okay, so constant, the scope of this transaction is again limited, so let's change this to let transaction. So this transaction and the so here transaction equal to, you can copy this and update the values. So in the to field it should be the, so first this data is not required, then to field it's a receiver address, then value it's a actual value, value in ether. So gas limit is okay, gas price is okay, nonce is also okay. You can save this file, transfer. Okay, okay, this is, I think this is done. So this is the signed transaction with the transaction and the private key. Private key, we have private key in the .env file. If you don't know how we have created this transfer function initially, I would highly recommend to go and check the previous video on how to transfer ES20 token from one account to another account. Then only you will understand this function or the original main.component file. We should add the details into the list. Okay. So token transfer, ether transfer. Okay. For the ether transfer, we don't have the token address. Then in that case, you can add something like using the ternary operator. Token address, if it's there, then token address, else ETH. Then the transfer amount, so it should be the transfer amount. Then we need the transaction hash. So transaction hash, TRS hash. We can create one variable, reference is equal to, then you can copy this first part of this ring p. First prepend URL into the .env. So for time being, I'm just adding here as a hard coded. You can copy this into .env and from there you can get this, because whenever you change testnet to the mainnet, it's easier to update the .env instead of changing code. So here you need to add the ahref, then that should be the reference, then target, should be blank or the equal to blank. Okay, so this is fine. So okay, this is fine. So again we need to add this transaction into the that list. So temporary list. Okay, post transaction list dot push, then the transaction. Okay, then here we need to reset the activity list and again add the transaction list into the activity list. So here transaction list. Okay, okay, we have, okay, this is okay, this is fine. So activity number. Okay, this is fine. Activity number, token address, transfer amount, and transaction hash. Okay, okay, you can save this file and then let me check one more. Okay, you can refresh this page. Okay, now let's try to add token first. Okay, value announce. Just I'm just cross checking if anything is missing, if there is anything I missed. So this is okay, this is add asset is also okay, balance. Okay, transaction list and token list. Okay, asset list is okay. Okay, add asset. Okay, transfer type token field disable, that is also fine. Okay, token buffer. Okay, let's go down. This is okay, this is the activity list and here token address, transfer transaction. Okay, let's refresh this. Let's try to, so let's try to add again, let's try to add some assets. So let's, you can cross check this ether balance. If you see here, this is the ether balance, it's matching. Okay, and go to the link, copy this link address and you can add this into the add asset. So if you see here, this is the token address and this is the balance. So go back and try to add another token. Let's consider this token, DAI token. So you can copy this address and then you can paste this address. Okay, add address. Okay, if you see here, this is token address and this is the respective balance. Okay, you can add as many tokens as you want. So this is okay. Now we need to transfer the token or the ether. So let's transfer the ether. So this is our token. So let's transfer ether to this particular address. Copy the address, paste it, and write the token amount and add the ether amount. Let's add the transfer. So if you see here, as soon as we click the send, this transaction hash is created and it's added to the activity list. So if you see, this transaction is added to this particular block. So here you can transfer the, here you can check to transfer the token. So we have selected the first token, link token, then the send to address and the amount. So let's transfer this 3 token to this particular address. So let's click on the same. Okay, if you see here, this token is transferred. So this token address, amount is 3, and this is the transaction hash. Again, if you see here, this is added to the, this first is added to the block ending with 13, and this is added to the block ending with 16. So if you see here, this is success, and this is also successfully added. So if you refresh this, if you check this link token, check the table structure. So here you can add the colon, okay, scope colon, then scope colon, okay, then we need, this should not be thread, this should be the thread. Okay, so you can refresh, you can save this, you can refresh this, try to add the token. So chain link, okay, then paste it here. Okay, this table structure is properly updated. Now that's proper. So instead of that, it's a date, and same goes to the activity table. So it should be the, add the, so here you can add the scope column equal to colon. So again, here our main focus to learn the web3 functions, not the UI. Let's check the token address copy. So let's try to transfer the ether to this particular address and check the below table is also working fine or not. Okay, this is fine. So if you see here, table structure is proper now. So let's try and transfer the token. So let's transfer the 5 tokens. So let's, no, it's not clicked. So let's click on the same. Okay, so see, this is token address, this is the token amount, transfer amount, and this is the transaction hash. So you can again verify this transaction hash, the ether and the token. So it's pending. Okay, so it's successfully added. If you see here, this should also successfully added. So this is also added. Okay. So this is how you can create your own crypto wallet. So here we have used the wallet address from the MetaMask. If you have any questions on this crypto wallet, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.